Yeah, to figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, that gets a little. Yeah, that crosses. Yeah.
Don't you agree? There's no point in like moving that. Like this should be the. We shouldn't have to move stuff.
Well, I put the gray backdrop up here for using, and then Will has this obsession with showing the entire wall instead of just using the backdrop and like making it more straight or forward.
You could put it like in front of there or something. What's up with it, Joe?
You could wait, but yeah. Then like the video camera you took in, the big one that's up on the shelf.
Yeah.
Thing. Some guy said he'll buy the microphone part of that and we'll take it off.
That's a Bill thing. That's a Bill thing.
The what?
That's a
What are you
Bill
talking about?
The
microphone for the Sony FS5 that we.
It does come separate apparently, but he said he would buy that. The guy that's always looking at that camera, he probably talked to him too.
I'm sure we can sell it.
He's not here now, but we did it last night.
Well, why wouldn't we?
We said if we didn't know how much it would, and like, we would like.
I get it. But would it look naked without the microphone?
What's up?
Would it look naked without the microphone?
Microphones on the table.
No, I'm talking about the thing he's talking about.
Well, yeah, kind of. I guess it's part of the package, and what makes it more advertising to buy, for people who want to buy it is it's all in one. Yeah. Like if we're gonna reduce the, if we're gonna get rid of the mic, that's like $200 we take off the price. Might as well get rid of the lens.
You gotta do this first. What you gotta do with like the
vertically?
Wait, you wanna do this? And then we'll always assist on doing all this shit.
Well, yeah, I had everything set up, and then the moment he came in, he had to change everything.
Well,
it was like
just trying to be relevant.
What? Relevant? We're doing film.
So we're not going to talk about the we're not going to do normal housekeeping. We're going to talk about December 3rd.
Sounds good.
And then we'll get to
Look at you all professional. I didn't even put on makeup today, so.
that's all right.
You know, one of those days.
You can go ahead and put the mic on. There's a magnet. You can take the little chips of magnet and just put it anywhere on your shirt.
I don't have a magnet. Oh, it's a magnet. That's really cool. So we could tuck it in. No wires. What?
Enjoy Mark and Debbie trying to put on a DJI mic.
Already done. Try and find it.
You could, yeah. It does. It is just a regular culture clip, or you can use the magnet.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Delaware Camera is your #1 spot for all your camera needs, education, accessories, printing, and more. Located at 2635 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo. Visit cameraspot.com.
Yo, true believers. Mark from Delaware Camera.
Debbie from Delaware Camera.
Here on our Tuesday Tech Talks number 30-something. Will always knows the right number, but producer Will's not here. We have producer Dean here today. If you
Yay, Dean.
You've probably seen producer Dean on the show a couple times, spitting knowledge on video subjects. But so we got a couple things to talk about today. We're doing film with Orange Crush.
That's me.
KODAK Portra. It'll probably be an ongoing segment because Debbie.
I love film so much. It's such a wonderful art form at this point, and we have so much wonderful film that people can use. And we're going to talk about a few of them today, but we have a few other things first.
Yeah, so we normally do housekeeping, but we're not doing housekeeping in a traditional way today. We're going to talk about our Customer Appreciation Day, which is December 3rd. So December 3rd, we're gonna have Saturday from 10 to 5. I'm here. I'm here. Dude. Okay. We're here from 10 to 5. It's gonna be a normal day, but we're gonna have a bunch of stuff going on. We're gonna have some reps from Tamron, Nanlite, Benro, Venus Lawa, all sorts of people here. We're gonna have some local photographers, former coworkers coming in to give knowledge, basically be a day of knowledge. So knowledge, demos, all sorts of stuff.
It should be a lot of fun. Different stations set up, lots of little fun things to watch and do, and come and talk to your favorite photographers about the things that they love to do.
Anyway, so we have a lot of cool stuff to do at this thing. It's gonna be great. So December 3rd, 10 to 5. Be here. There's gonna be door prizes. We just heard from Nanlite, they're giving us a door prize. So we're gonna actually add on to that. So there's gonna be a bunch of stuff you can win. Special discounts on certain items in the store. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great time to buy those Christmas presents.
And the first 200 people are getting a gift, right?
Yeah. We haven't decided what it is yet, though, but they're getting something.
First 200 people are going to get a little gift from us. Just so you know.
People.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have that kind of capacity.
I think we can manage it.
I'll walk outside if we get 200 people in here.
That's right.
I'll stay outside.
That's right.
So anyway, yeah. So December 3rd, 10 to 5. We're gonna hit you with all. We're probably gonna have different events on Facebook and Instagram that you can sign up for, like special demos we're going to need an admission to get into and stuff. But check it out. Keep an eye on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Debbie's
we are on TikTok.
Yeah, Debbie's our TikTok ambassador.
Watch TikTok because it'll force me to actually do them.
So anyway, actually, one thing we can talk about, in addition to Happy Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is this Thursday if you're watching this live or before December or November.
You can always watch it on YouTube after the fact,
yeah, so
guys.
let's say November 22nd. So November 24th is Thanksgiving. So hopefully everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. So what was your experience with the snow this week?
So it wasn't too bad because I didn't have to go anywhere. So I didn't have to shovel. I just sat at my kitchen table and had coffee and hot cocoa, and it was like a little Norman Rockwell moment for us. I think you had more of an experience with snow than I did.
I mean, it was kind of Norman Rockwell-ish, except I had to like shovel snow. So, because I live right by a creek and we have a bunch of trees on the property and stuff, but we got the 80 inches of snow. So we had talked, you and me had talked about over text about, wait till it all ends and then shovel it down. But
shovel.
That's not what I should have done. I should have kept up on it. I didn't think I'd get this much. But
shouldn't have listened to me. But I'm in the North Towns, so.
Yeah, I'm in the South Towns. I was in a driving ban until Sunday, so I couldn't go anywhere. So I didn't work on Sunday, but Debbie held
me
it
and
down.
Dean we held the fort down on Sunday, so.
Yeah.
I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, you guys did good work. It was cool. So, if anyone has any snow pictures, post them and tag us in them, or hashtag Delaware Camera or at Delaware Camera. I'd like to see them. I'm gonna post them on mine soon, and you can see how my car is buried and my snow is as tall as a basketball hoop in the backyard. So
be featured on our Instagram a little bit.
It was a mess. It was a mess. So anyway, today's topic is Portra film.
Portra.
So Debbie has been sampling all the Portra films, much as you would sample different dishes in a restaurant. She's going to tell us about some of the pictures she's taken and some of the things she's doing with Portra film.
So Portra is a wonderful film. It's a super fine grain. It's not quite as luscious as Kodak Gold, which is the gold standard, of course. I know. But it's just about as close to the Kodak Gold that you can get at this point, because gold has been unavailable for months at this point. Portra is really wonderful. It's as I said, super fine grain. It's got wonderful colors. They tend to be a little muted though. So understand when you go into the film world, you're going to have to play with the emulsions on the film a little bit. Kodak tends to be more orangey and have a golden glow. Fuji tends to have more greens and blues and be wonderful for landscapes. Portra, on the other hand, is a wonderful studio film. This is what you want to use for more of your portraits or your still lifes. And you'll see when Dean puts up the pictures that we took, I did still lifes in one of the studio light boxes. And so what I did was I just took the same photo so we can kind of show off the differences in what Portra 160 does, which is a more highlight, daylight film compared to 400 or 800, which tend to be more low light or inside film. The difference with Portra from other films that you should probably keep an eye on is Portra is a hungry film. It wants that light. So all of these films will work really well in daylight or in a studio setting where you can control your lighting. But once you get your lighting, it is just a crisp and deep film. Reds and oranges really pop in.
When you say they're hungry, you're talking about all the speeds?
All of the speeds are hungry for light. So 800 tends to be more of a low light because it's a faster speed film. Because we don't have the big boxes of the 800. In fact, we only have 2 rolls of 800 left. So if you want it, you have to come in and get it right now. 800 usually is for more of a low light or an evening film. Like that, 800 is going to do gorgeous things with any film in your golden hour. Portra, on the other hand, 800 even will look wonderful in a very high lighted area or a studio lighted area. It's just going to give you more of those daylight looks when it's in a higher light. The 160 is actually what's going to give you more of your deep and creamy looks because it is designed for those high lighted areas.
Are you showing those pictures or what's up?
I am as we were talking. So
oh, professional.
Go into the picture about the cat.
Yeah.
Talk about the settings on that.
So that is my wonderful old cat. She is a doofus and only has 1 tooth, but she photographs so nicely.
What's her name?
Her name is Noelle because I got her in November.
Speak her name.
Speak her name. She's actually turning 11 this November. Probably it's already passed, but I don't remember exactly when. So
happy birthday, Noelle.
Happy birthday, Noelle. My old cat. So that I actually shot on my Pentax K1000. It was shot with the Portra 800, I think. Okay. It was either the 800 or the 400.
So a lot of shadows.
A lot of shadows, a lot of contrast. You can see in that picture it's got a really high grain because when I shot it with more of the low light settings. So when you have all kinds of light in a low light setting with a hungry film, you're going to get that high grain look. I like it. I like that art form. I like how it's almost that very 70s feel. And you can get that with this film by using the right settings on your camera. I want to say I shot that at a 1/60th of a second and I think I knocked the steps down twice. So it was highlighting, shot with an 800 speed film, but actually set down to more of a 500 or 600 speed.
Okay.
So you get a lot of grain, and it really takes those colors and makes them dream quality.
Dream quality.
It's dream quality. I tell people this all the time.
Yeah.
Film really is that taking your surrounding and making it magical because it's an art form. Digital and mirrorless, you can get those super crisp, wonderful shots that you're looking for in a professional setting. This really is taking those shots and making them artsy.
You can make digital pictures artsy.
You can. But you can't.
I'm being the film negative Nancy here, sorry, but film's
I know. Cool. Mark doesn't shoot film, so.
Nope, I just shoot digital because it's 2022. Just kidding.
I know. And isn't it wonderful that we can still use film in
Definitely.
2022 when it's been a formidable medium for almost 200 years.
Yeah, definitely.
We actually have a large format camera downstairs that I'm going to try and take some shots on so that we can show off how a large format compares to 35 or medium format.
Is that 8x10?
That's 6x7.
6x7.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many things that you can still do with film, but because film is expensive, because it's not an easily transferred medium to digital or shareable medium to digital, it's there's a lot more that goes into watching your shots and making sure that you're using the film in the way that you want it to be used and do what you want it to do.
Is what you're saying, does that carry over to like medium formats as well?
It does.
Versions
it does.
Of these?
So the difference between 35 medium and large format is the amount of pixels you're getting. So if you look at it in digital terms, you're going from, your 8 megapixel phone camera to a 40 megapixel digital or mirrorless camera, which are starting to come out now. And so your 8 megapixel phone camera would be more like your 35 millimeter film, where you can take wonderful shots, but they're not going to be quite as crisp as the large format because you have so much more information coming into the camera.
Yeah, when even though I'm a film negative Nancy, I scan most of the 120 film here, but when it's done when it's done properly, it looks really good.
It's so
like
crisp.
it looks great. Like shout out DJ Carr, shout out Ethan Barnes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when it looks good, like it's a pleasure to do. Like it's great. It's like it's almost like mind blowing, which it's really cool. So
yeah, there are things that you can do with film that you just can't do with almost the same look. I shoot Fuji because I can get a lot of the film simulation from the Fuji camera.
Yeah.
But it's a simulation and that's it.
Yeah.
Always going to be a quality to film that doesn't translate to the digital.
Yeah, it's like when
cameras.
I used to see about like CDs and like records, like like digital's like this, whereas like analog is like that. You see everything. There's nothing is gone. Even though it might be minute, you're not losing anything with analog, which is
right.
Which I can appreciate, even though
exactly.
I'm a negative Nancy.
And the thing is, the negatives are not going to lose their resolution.
Sure.
So each time you transfer your digital media to a different form, it's losing some kind of resolution. It's losing packets because it's going through different servers. It's losing quality. It's becoming more and more compacted by the transfer.
Yeah, definitely.
Hard, medium, and film, the negatives never lose their quality. We shoot glass plates from the 1800s that look exactly like the day they were shot.
Yeah.
And that's why I really think film will never truly go away, but it is an art form at this point.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. But digital, is good too. I mean, I shoot raw, so I always keep my raw copies of everything. So I'd like to hope I always have my my full version. But yeah, you're right. When you transfer stuff, anything can happen. Whereas if you have film, that negative is always that negative.
Right.
It's not going to crash, or well, I guess it could burn in a fire, but it's not going to.
Right. That's about it.
But you'll know it's gone.
Your computer can also burn in a fire. So.
Yeah, I was talking to someone.
The cloud can't.
True, but there was a guy who was backing up his stuff, and when he was having problems, like he kept backing up his stuff, but he didn't realize there was a problem with his original disk. So the backup was thinking that stuff was gone off the original disk, so it was copying nothing, which kind of sucks. But the cloud is also a good
the cloud is a good way to store. I don't know. We talk a lot about how to store, photos and media here, and everyone has their own ideas. Honestly, it comes down to what you like best.
Yeah, it's and how you can access it, because if you have a system where you're not comfortable accessing it, you're never gonna access your pictures, which is a problem as well. So okay, so we got the Portra film, we got the
400, 160, 800, all great portrait films.
Does like the Fuji? I know you shoot Fuji. Does Fuji have like Portra like simulations or anything like that? Or is that not?
Oh, they do. They do. Well, so you can. The thing with Fuji is you can make whatever simulation you want.
But they obviously can't do a KODAK simulation Kodak and Fuji because they can't call it that anyway.
Right, but you can create. There's people out there, and it's called Fuji Recipes.
Yeah,
And you can look up somebody who has played with their Fuji camera to a point where they have created simulations of Kodak film.
Yeah.
So you can find those simulations and you can build them in your camera. They're never going to come quite as close to the muted colors that these have.
Yeah.
Gold tends to have much deeper colors than the Portra. Portra tends to be more pastel-y.
Yeah.
But you can do that all in your digital camera as well. I go back to Fuji because I'm a Fuji shooter. You shoot Canon, and I know you can do custom settings in Canon, but Fuji really lets you kind of take everything, every aspect, so you can simulate that.
Yeah, I never mess around with that stuff, but yeah, it's cool to have those options and such. So that's cool. So, I mean, this is our first episode of film, so we're gonna get into some other films in later. So
yeah, there's so many films out there.
What other films have you been shooting, Debbie?
So I absolutely love lomography. I've been shooting a lot of the Lomo Purple, which it takes all of your blues and greens and makes them pinks and purples, which we've talked about. The newest, most exciting film is the Cinestill 50D, which is the 50 Daylight. I haven't heard a bad review about it yet. Both Kenny and I have shot the 50D and absolutely adore it. Kenny did a lot of street photography. I did some fall colors. I went out into Sanborn and took some photos there. And it's probably the best colored film that I have seen in recent memory.
Okay. Cool. So we'll probably get into those in future episodes of these film with Orange Crush segments that we're doing.
Film photography project. Maybe we'll do some black and whites because they do incredible things with black and white.
Who makes that Wolfman and Dracula?
That's Film Photography Project. They also have a podcast, and if you're into analog at all, I highly recommend it because they give some great tips and tricks and kind of tell you what works and what's not working, and just wonderful guys, and it's a lot of fun to listen to.
Very cool. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Couple of things before we sign off. December 3rd, Customer Appreciation Day. Discounts, demos, giveaways, snacks,
cookies,
Q&As, education. We're gonna have
bring the kids.
I may have some video games here too for the kids. So we're gonna have Benro, Tamron, Lawa, Nanlite, and maybe a couple of other surprises. There'll be some door prizes as well. It's gonna be really cool. If you're looking for new cameras, that'll be out soon. Ken R6 Mark II next the 29th, 11/29. We have, when does the A7R4 come out? Or A7R5, sorry.
A7R5 it's supposed to come out in December, I think.
Okay. We have XT5s in. We just got those in.
The XT5 is in. They're so nice. If you like street photography, that's the camera for you.
Yeah. So if you're looking for those cameras, give us a call. Another camera we just got in today, which is really something that's kind of hard to find, is a Sony FX6. We got a second one in. We have a special order for one, but we got one that's up for grabs. So if you're looking for an FX6, Dean is looking at me in a weird way, but we got one of those in too.
Because I'm gonna get it.
We've got one of those in too. So
we also have a lot of used cameras. 35 millimeter point and shoots are super.
Are these all
in
for
right
sale?
Now. These are all for sale.
Oh, cool.
The studio portraits I did with the Portra I shot on this Olympus. So come and check it out. It's a great camera. We have lots of fun things.
Awesome. So hope you enjoyed this. If you like this, tell other people about it. Like, share, subscribe. If you're on Instagram, watch it on YouTube because you could have seen Debbie's pictures on YouTube. You can't see us on Instagram. So appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one, which is Artist of the Month. So we have that lined up. We'll post about that soon, but we're going to have a great photographer on next week, and we will hopefully see you then.
See you on December 3rd.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.
Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Delaware Camera is your #1 spot for all your camera needs, education, accessories, printing, and more. Located at 2635 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo. Visit cameraspot.com.